Greetings and welcome to another weekly episode of Nomad Lifestyle. I'm Patty Serrano, your host, and oh boy, is it going to be a fun night tonight. We're sitting around the campfire talking stories, and we also have the privilege and honor to have featured nomads. Danielle and Yann will be telling us a little bit about their lives in with vans and tiny homes and everything. So I am really excited about tonight. And before we get started, I just want to let you know that there's a couple announcements. One is we now have a YouTube channel where you can look at all these. If you missed it or you want to go back and hear something that one of our guests say, you can go back to Nomad Lifestyle on YouTube. Also on the group page, as you know, I post all the links and everything to everything. And our merchandise page, if you want to have anything that has Nomad written on it, vans, RVs, whatever, I've got a merchandise page over there. So be sure and check that out. So thank you once again for joining us here on a cold Colorado night. Well, it's 65 degrees, but we're coming off of 95 and 100-degree weather. So I'm all warmed up. So it's kind of a nice night for me to be around a campfire. However, some of our guests are out there in the heat of the nation. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me. And let's bring on Danielle. And I believe that she has her husband close by. How you doing, Danielle?
Good. How are you?
Oh, you look great. You just come back from a workout?
Yeah, we were out climbing, so good stuff.
What a fun opportunity to have a young couple on tonight. And then when I met Danielle, she was telling me they had a van and a tiny home, and I went, "Oh, we got to talk to these guys." So I know nothing more than you do. So first, I guess we could ask you is how in the world did you both? You want to have Yann say hi to us first, or is he around? You just say hi.
He just figured out he has a meeting, so he will try to pop in. Yeah, it just got brought to his attention at 5:30.
No problem.
So, yeah.
I'm sure you can tell a good story.
Yeah, we live on the fly, right?
Yeah, you do. How did you get into it?
Basically, we travel a lot. We're both in education, and so our goal is to eventually just live small and travel all over the United States and out of the United States and live simply.
There's Yann back there.
Oh, there he is.
Hi, Yann.
Hello. Sorry, multitasking, being on two meetings at the same time here.
Hey, love it. That's the beauty of what we do. So you bought what made you want to buy a van? Was there someone that inspired you to get a van?
Basically, yeah, we had a few friends who had vans, and we talked about it for a while. And Danielle was like, "No, we're tent campers. We're good. We don't need a van. We don't need a van. We don't need a van." My biggest thing was that we're avid mountain bikers, and we have a lot of gear, and our mountain bikes are always hanging out on the back of our vehicle, and that's a lot of money hanging out in the back of the vehicle, getting dirty and nasty as we're traveling. And so we kind of worked about it and thought about it, and all of a sudden it was like, you know what, maybe now's the time. We're good financially. We can afford to put this much down, and let's start looking. And what was it? Our Christmas break, we started looking, and we found one out in Washington, D.C. and in the price we could afford. And we're like, well, let's look at plane tickets. And we found plane tickets, a one-way ticket that was like, what was it, $120 or something each. And we talked to the dealership. The dealership said they'd put us up in a hotel room for free. Wow. And so we were like, all right,
let's go.
Yeah, exactly. So it all kind of came together. And in about 2 weeks, we bought ourselves a van, and we're driving back from Washington, D.C., a little cross-country road trip.
Oh, how fun. Well, that's awesome. Now, when was that? This last Christmas?
No, that was
3-4 years ago.
4 years ago.
Yeah, 4 years ago. You're seniors. I mean, you're experienced. Yeah. Well, I mean, you've been out there. I mean, we literally have people go out and watch this show for 2-3 weeks. One Mary, who'll probably come in tonight, she actually got inspired by some of us people that had vans and went and got herself one. So there's a lot of people that watch that are still want to hear your story, because why? And so that was a great one. You had those, you got your bikes and stuff. Now Danielle was telling me you also have a tiny home somewhere?
Yeah, we
Where's that?
it's up near Breckenridge area. We like to ski during the winter, and it's hard to drive back and forth all the time. So our ultimate goal is to have just a tiny home base up there eventually, and just sell the
Nice.
house here. So it's parked up there, and we just use it as our ski cabin for the moment.
Oh,
And then,
nice.
yeah,
That
so
sounds like it doesn't get any better than that.
no, it's awesome, and
You
it's
guys are
totally off the
truly blessed.
grid. Yeah,
Oh, totally off the grid too.
yeah,
That is amazing.
yeah.
All right. Well, I've got, 101 questions for you, and I've got, we've got such limited time, but let me bring in a couple people that are in kind of in the back. Here's Cheryl. She's from Washington State. How you doing, Cheryl?
Good.
And we've got
Nice to meet you
Ferris
guys.
here. He's actually in Colorado Springs. How you doing, Ferris? Or here he comes somewhere. There he is. Oh, that's Paula there. Paula's coming in from New Orleans, and looks like she might have some technical difficulties, so we'll hang on for her. So, anybody, Cheryl or Ferris, do you have any questions for them? What an exciting time.
No,
Go ahead.
I'm really getting excited about hearing their story and where they've gone and how they work it in with their lifestyle.
Yeah, where have you guys gone? What's your favorite?
Well, we've done quite a few long road trips to Montana, Idaho, Wyoming, Utah, things like that. We do an annual trip out to Arizona. A couple times a year. We go visit my family, and the nice thing is that we show up and we just park in the driveway, and we never have to worry about imposing. We are just completely self-sufficient, which is really nice.
Yeah, lovely. Yes.
Yeah, the best thing about van life is, and I always said no, we were going to tent camp, but you pull up and it's pouring rain, and you watch other people having to set up tents and all their stuff, and you pull out a block and you level it, and then you start cooking dinner, and you're just like, so it's going to change my philosophy when you have a little bit more shelter, and it's just one of those horrible rainy nights. And don't get me wrong, I love the outdoors, but man, it's just, that's the perk, right?
Oh no, you sound like someone that's like, it was hardcore. And then when the stuff started presenting itself, like, vans or, electricity or, something like that, I think I'll vote for that. I mean, you don't have to be, hardcore. You can have a little comfort, I mean, come on, after all.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Anything else, Ferris or Cheryl, that you want to ask them? It might be of interest to you.
What lengths of trips do you usually take? What would be like an average length of a trip for you?
Right now, 2 to 3 weeks.
Really?
Eventually, we'll look at longer, like months at a time. But like I said, we're still in the workforce, and I have a 15-year-old. So once he's out and grown, and we're kind of looking at kind of an 8-year window before we can start to really travel fully.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Well, you're getting all the, how to do it out of the way now, which is really, really nice. And when you travel, do you have it all charted out, or are you like you go on the wing?
Never.
We fly by the seat of our pants.
Yeah.
Our goal is to try to not drive more than 3 hours a day, but it all depends. And we like to find new trails that we haven't been to, or new things we haven't seen, and just kind of like, hey, that looks cool. Danielle loves to find things on her phone all the time, and so she's like, how about we go here? It's like, okay, sure.
Oh, that's awesome. So that's really cool. Now, Paula is in the chat room asking, do you normally travel because of your education background in the summer because you're in education?
Yeah, normally summer or Thanksgiving and spring break.
Oh, okay. What do you have planned for this year?
This year, unfortunately, we're dealing with some life changes, and my father's not doing well. He's ill. So basically, we've been going to Arizona, and that's pretty much it.
Oh, okay. Well, that's totally understandable.
Yeah.
Now, another question. Sarah says, so if I can find race events in other states, would you work that into your travel plans?
Sorry, no, Ferris. When we're traveling, we're playing.
These guys know each other, as you know, as you can probably tell by now, and we're somewhat together too. Paula's saying, what part of Arizona?
Verde Valley. So my dad lives in Cornville now. And then I have a few friends who live in Clarkdale and Sedona. And then my brother lives in Flagstaff.
Oh, wow. So that's wonderful. You got some beautiful, beautiful places there you get to travel to. Well, that's awesome. All right. Well, we're going to kind of wrap it around, and you guys don't go away because we want to have you in on some of the fun of what we're going to open it up to everybody. But Paula says all the beautiful parts of Arizona. Yes, absolutely. So basically, I get ideas for discussions based on, what people say, like either in the week prior or maybe something on the group. So we went around last week and got everybody's names of their rigs. Did you name your tiny home or your rig? Do you have a name for them?
We've talked about it, but not really.
Not yet. Okay.
It seems to be the thing to do. Maybe we should start naming them. I don't know.
Well, yeah. One guy, when we put it up there on our group page, said, "Oh, this must be a woman thing." And then another lady came back and goes, "No, all the big truckers have names for their rigs and da 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 da." So we have. What's your name of yours again, Cheryl?
I don't have a name for mine.
Well, that's right. We're going to pick a name for
I've
you,
never
right?
been.
Yeah, mine's White Rose because I have a white minivan, and a lot of the people in this group are minivanners. Let's see, Paula has the Odyssey of Hope. She does a lot of journeys to ministry and stuff like that. So that's a perfect name for hers. But so anyway, we just thought maybe you might have a name for yours. But let's think about it. We'll check back in with you and see what you come up with. Now the other things that we talk about is equipment. Was there any kind of anything? You sound like you've been tent camping, Danielle. So is there any equipment that you own that you would say unequivocally, I have to have that? I mean, it's like I've got to have it.
For us, it's just bringing stuff that we can enjoy along the road. I mean, our bikes are essential, and I love that the van's solar, and the tiny house, we have a composting toilet. Just living really simply. And just rigging it so it's not a burden to society. And I don't know. I mean, once you have an enclosed structure, you can kind of make it your own. So,
do you have anything that's like some people talk about their fans and stuff like that? Oh, I gotta have a fan, or is there anything you have to have?
We have, what is the name of the cooler?
Oh, the Dometic cooler. We've got a refrigerator.
That's nice.
Refrigerator cooler, and that has been a game changer for us.
Yes, there you go.
Because we're constantly, we eat fresh foods, vegetables, all that kind of stuff, and so we're able to keep everything cold. Especially going to Arizona in the desert, we don't have to worry about, keeping things cold. And that's been really nice.
That's huge. Yes.
And no ice.
Let's take a look at some of the pictures you've sent us. Maybe you can talk about them. So this one is your rig, and there's one of your bikes. Is that right? Is that a mountain bike there, or two? One out in the sun there.
Yeah, there might be one in front. I think it's in the shadow.
That picture, by the way, is gorgeous. Look at that black and white.
Like a professional picture. The lighting in it.
Its texture on that picture is amazing.
That's
an ad shot right there.
That's my passion, but you don't get paid for that, right?
oh, really? Is that right?
Yeah. So if anyone wants just cool pictures of their rigs and outdoors, I'll come.
That is amazing. That is beautiful. Well, that does look professional. Actually, now that you say that, this one actually looks professional too.
One picture?
Where was that taken?
Where were we on that one? That was.
Looks like the beach, maybe out the beach somewhere.
No, that was a trailhead somewhere. Oh. God, where were we?
That's the problem. You go to so many different places, then you forget. We should start labeling.
Well, that was outside. That one's outside of Cortez, Colorado.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just
Okay.
north of Cortez.
Uh-huh. Perfect.
I think. Oh no, take that back. Rewind.
Yep.
This one is
Which one?
Alien Head Trail outside of Farmington, New Mexico.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Hmm. And there you guys are. That looks like a fun little picture there. That's adorable.
Yeah, Jan's crafty, so he builds. When we got the van, it was a metal shell, right? And then that's the stove I'm leaning on, so he built that
Oh,
contraption.
nice.
So the little cabinet next to him, that's where the propane is housed. You can it just flops down, and we
Mhm.
keep like laundry detergent in there if we need
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
stop,
That's
So
awesome. Well, Cheryl below you there is blessed to have a husband that's very crafty too. And he's
nice.
building out her van, and we
Cool.
saw the kind of some of the before stuff last couple weeks ago, and she's getting it a roof raised, and we'll be looking at the after here after she gets that done. But that's really cool. And then we've got now the inside. Is this the inside of your van?
Yeah, that's the inside.
Yeah,
have-
so that's from the driver's seat. So looking back, so obviously
Okay.
we had 2 kids when we started this whole project, and so
Okay, that's what these
we
are,
really
uh-huh.
needed that extra seat, and that typically resides right behind the driver and passenger seat. Where we
Right.
moved it back farther,
Uh-huh.
and then that we have our bed up above, and we have shelves for our bags. We pack everything in bags, and so we just have shelving to put our bags on.
Oh, nice.
And then
Yeah.
we found some nice Tupperware that fits right underneath the seat, and that slides in for all of our shoes. We slide
Yeah.
our shoes into those.
God, I wish I could travel that lightly. And this must be from the back then looking forward now without the seats. Is that right?
That's correct.
Yeah.
The seat's still there, but she's above the seat right now. So
I see.
her on the
Oh,
left, and then the sink, and then we just use 2 5-gallon jerry cans underneath with fresh water and 1 with gray water, and so nothing goes out. And then we have a what is our heater? An Espar D2 heater, a diesel heater.
Oh,
And
okay.
actually, in the wintertime, that thing is amazing. It
Ah.
pulls directly off the diesel tank, and so it pulls the gas right out of your diesel tank and heats that thing
Oh,
up.
wow.
Yeah.
And then, but it has a cutoff valve, I'm sure, so you don't zap all your diesel, right? Fuel.
Yeah, exactly. It'll only go down to a quarter tank.
Quarter
So once
tank,
you get
yep.
to a quarter tank, it'll automatically shut off. But
Nice.
And
And I
it's-
wanted to show you. I didn't get the picture sent to me. I'm going to show you though. Go ahead and say what you're going to say.
So just right below the cooler, that's where the heater comes out, and it's just it's a tube about that big, and there's a little thermostat that is in the wall that Yann put in, and so you can set it, and it'll just come on in the morning before we get out of bed, and it heats really well in a small area, so it doesn't take much.
Wow. Does anybody have any questions so far for them? I'm looking for their picture of their tiny house. It didn't come through on my email, so I wanted to show you all. Do you guys have any questions about their rig? Go ahead. Anybody? What length is it? Does that look like a 22?
it's a 170 wheelbase.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah, so it's a little bit longer, but allows us to have a full garage in the back. So we have slide out trays with our mountain bikes on them and road bikes. We have enough room to put 2 road bikes, 2 mountain bikes, 2 paddle boards, all of our climbing gear, and a little bit of extra stuff in the back. So we call it our garage.
That is fun. That is really fun. Fun photos. I wanted to show you this one here. This is the picture of their tiny home. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, that started as a little endeavor. We had a free place to stay in Fairplay, and we were staying in some guy's basement during the wintertime, and he ended up, his in-laws decided they want to remodel the basement and reside there themselves. So we kind of got the heave hove, and we decided to go down the foray of tiny houses before it was popular. And right about the time we got it done was that when they started shutting everything down and saying tiny houses were allowed and you couldn't do it and this, that, and the other. And they passed all these new zoning laws in the area where we wanted to put it. And so we ended up finding a nice piece of property that we ended up selling because we couldn't have it there. But now we finally found a nice place for it, and it's a little off the grid cabin. It's on a
Yeah. So you don't
eight
need
by
to worry about. Go ahead.
it's on an 8 by 20 foot trailer and completely self-sufficient. 156 square feet on the main level and 280 square foot lofts.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Or 60 square foot lofts. 60 square foot lofts. One for the
Yeah,
two boys, one for us.
That's neat. Now you don't have to worry about anything like freezing up there or anything because it's not typed for that, right?
Oh yeah, no, you got to completely drain it. You got to drain everything every time.
yeah.
And we've had a couple of mishaps, where we forgot to leave the faucet open, and or not put enough RV antifreeze in the water pump, and you go back up the next time, and when it's 12 degrees when you get in there, things are frozen and broken.
Yeah. Wow. Now, what was it that was it just part of just what you see your future is why you went tiny, as opposed to just building a house? Yeah.
Part of that, well, and part of it's affordability too. But then, we don't need much. We're super simple people, and we call it camping indoors, and that's kind of what we like to do. We love to camp, and so you kind of camp indoors a little bit more luxe, but it just makes it nice, and it makes it convenient for us too. And we love to spend time away and not being in the city, and so this is our two options of what to do.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Pictures.
I can show you a picture of the inside if you want. So,
yeah, I'd love to see the inside.
I don't know if you guys know.
Let me put it up full screen. Hold on. 1 second.
It might be too much glare. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a cute floor plan. Yeah, I love the kitchen. Yep. All wood. Wow.
Sorry, there's a lot of glare.
Yeah. I can get an idea, though.
Yeah, it's beetle kill, and then it's like plumbed. If we wanted to go in an RV park, we could hook it up.
Oh, you said,
but we haven't done that yet. And then there's a little stove called the Hobbit.
Okay.
So this thing came from England, and it's very, very small. We have to actually
look at that. Yeah.
So that's our main heating unit, and you have to cut your firewood pretty tiny.
Oh, yeah.
And then when we get there, sometimes it's, in the 20s in the house, and it takes about an hour, and we're up to the 50s and 60s. So we have curtains on the left so that we keep the rooms cool, and that keeps the heat just in the main body of the house. So
that sounds fun. Wow. So you're just going all different directions. You got equipment to go in all different directions. That's great. Wow. What a stoke. Well, do we have any other questions for the couple here, Ferris? Or let's see my chat room. Send stuff up. Someone said you could name your van. Oh, Ferris says you could name your van the Time Machine.
The Time Machine, yeah. It's gonna keep us young forever, right?
Yep.
I feel that's the way you travel and you see amazing places, and it keeps you young at heart, right?
Yep.
We only have that one opportunity, so.
We do. And Paula says, "Thank goodness I have a crafty son." Yeah. See, I don't have anybody. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that, but I definitely. Last trip, I threw out all the plastic drawers and bought containers, and so we had a kitchen container, bathroom container, and this trip, I'm a little bit of both, and I want to just build a section in the back of the van that just has cupboards, and so that's my next thing. If I end up keeping the van, I go. I don't know if I'm a little bit like you, Danielle. I go okay, so this is working. And then we call it coveting other people's stuff, someone pulls in and they have like a nicer one or bigger. Oh, I covet that thing. Wow, I want one of those. And then you go, no, you should be happy with what you have. We're blessed to have what we have. We're blessed to have this lifestyle. I mean, gosh, do I love it. No, the Time Machine is timing. Oh, you're really throwing it in there, Ferris. Wow, whoa.
Timing races stuff.
Yeah. He's good. He's really good. Anyway, so out in the camping world, out in the RV world, I'm seeing a lot of, I follow all the seniors, all the RVers, all the van lifers, and one of the big questions today has been, where are we right now, here and now? Because 6 months ago, it was very expensive to even think about, buying one. Pam Hart, one of our regulars here, she bought one and it was in the shop for 7 months, and they built it so fast and so shoddy that her van, she never even got a chance to ride it or go on any trips. Now she's out there, but in fact she was going to come tonight, but she's out in Montana somewhere. What do you guys think? Where are we heading? Anybody? Cheryl or Ferris, chime in. Where are we heading in this whole van life, RV life world? Anybody want to comment?
Well, it seems like it can go nowhere but forward. The way the economy is, people can't live the way they have been living.
Yeah.
It's just, how can we afford to? The wages aren't going up. Social Security's not going up. But boy, rents and mortgages and home prices, food, everything is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, people are scaling back. They're being happy with, what they've got. And they're living in the cars and vans and all that. It seems to be okay. And then there's others of us that just do it, for recreation, but it works, and so I guess it works for people's lives too. In San Diego, you guys might be interested to know that they've built a lot you can't stealth in San Diego. There's nowhere to stealth, but they just shy on it. But they built a lot where you can park your car and it's got outdoor toilets and water, and you can stay overnight there. I guess it's safer. I think a lot of other cities probably best served to do that because, you see these vans showing up everywhere and RVs showing up everywhere, and they just don't have anywhere to go like you used to. But and to be honest with you all, that's why I chose the minivan, because I went from RV to cargo van to minivan, and it's just easier to stealth. And I like that. That's my adventure in my life, is finding places to hide out and be unnoticed. And right now I'm in my granddaughter's driveway, which, talk about sleeping great. For all of you that have talked about sleep over the last weeks, when you're in an environment where you can just know you're safe, you encapsulate, you close the curtains, and you just have the best night's sleep. And that's how it's been here for the last week. I've been here in Colorado Springs. And then I went up to Denver and stayed in my daughter-in-law's driveway, and that was an amazing night too. So for those of you that are listening, and I know a lot of you listen later, if you're wondering, oh, that sounds just so scary, don't be scared. It's actually pretty fun. Wouldn't you guys say, Yann and Danielle and Cheryl?
Oh, yeah.
Doris?
Yeah. I definitely agree with sleeping better in a tiny space. I mean, anytime I'm in that encapsulated small area, I mean, it's just a tent basically, but
Yeah.
you're a little bit, you can lock your doors. You can't really lock your tent door, right?
No. I feel I've never really, I've never had the knock we talk about, and I've always felt really safe. And I know why you laughing at that. This is a big subject.
You're lucky you haven't had the knock. The knock is a bit unnerving, I tell you.
Yeah, that's what people say, but I don't know. I think I sometimes I brag about how much work I put into finding a place to sleep. That's another thing. It's an art to it. Finding that stealth place.
Well, yeah, definitely. I mean, that's why we spend a majority of our time, in BLM land or forest, national forest. And even if we're in a big, in a town, we usually just we'll drive 15, 20 minutes outside of town and go camp out in the woods just so we don't have to worry about it. Every once in a while, we find ourselves close to town or in town, and it's never as comfortable.
Yeah. Well, listen, we are about ready to wrap this up, and I don't want you to go away because I still want to hear a little bit more about that. And if anybody wants to come in late, the link is over on our Facebook page. You just click on that link and you can come in late to the after chat, and we really welcome you to do that. And thanks so much again, Danielle and Yann, for coming in, Ferris for joining me, Paula, you're out there, Cheryl, our regulars, Mary, and everybody. Will find out where they are later. But thank you once again, and we'll see you and talk to you on the next episode.